best-selling author and intuitive coach, master healer, and animal mystic. And I've been endorsed by and hired by and shared the stage with world-renowned spiritual teachers and cutting-edge scientists, multi-million-dollar coaches and CEOs, world-famous psychics and Broadway performers, Olympic show jumpers, and international polo clubs. And I believe that intuitive energy healing is the most powerful force for change on Earth. I've created, as an example, a 6-figure transformational business where I'm teaching internationally in fabulous locations, doing exactly what I love, truly helping people and animals at the deepest levels. I am now in a loving and totally supportive relationship. We just celebrated our 12th year anniversary. I have a beautiful home and gorgeous heaven on earth garden. And perhaps most of all, I feel truly accomplished and aligned with my highest purpose. And yet, I have to admit, my biggest accomplishment and joy and mission is empowering you, the teachers, the healers, and the conscious leaders. I like to call you the planet shifters. Empowering you to unwrap your intuitive and healing and co-creative manifesting abilities so you can create the life of your dreams. I also believe, actually I know, that everyone is intuitive and everyone can be a healer and an alchemist. I like to call everything that I do energy alchemy because it means changing from one state to another, from sad to happy, from sick to well. And so everyone has these innate abilities, but mostly they're lying dormant. And also they've been very suppressed, because it wasn't always cool to be a healer. Not talking just this life. Historically, it also wasn't cool to claim your co-creative powers and your direct connection to Source. I'm here to tell you that it is time and that all of your dreams can come true through the power of intuitive energy healing. I have to admit it wasn't always this way. I made pretty much every mistake along the way. When I was an attorney, I was working at legal aid and my father became very ill, and eventually he died from lung cancer. And I remember sitting at his bedside thinking, there's got to be more. I want to do and offer more. And this led me on a lifelong journey to study with many spiritual masters and intuitive healers and teachers, even the animal communicators. And I have to say, my journey, I feel like I just kept jumping off the cliff, into the unknown, because I did have the courage to follow my heart, yet I didn't have nearly the skills that I would love to share with you now, that I have gained along the way to empower you and to hopefully cut your time way shorter than mine. I was married and divorced twice. I declared bankruptcy a bunch of years ago. I was even homeless. And luckily I had friends and family that put me up, but I truly had no home, no place to live. And I also began to work non-stop for pennies for years with the idea that I was doing selfless service. Of course, I was never serving myself. I had no time for vacations, no playtime. It was all very serious, I was incredibly shy, and I lacked confidence in my abilities. I dreaded coming in front of an audience and speaking about what I do. As a matter of fact, I can't even believe I did this, but I used to send people when they'd ask, what should I do, for my problems and my illnesses and my back pain. And and I'd say, oh, there's a great acupuncturist or a chiropractor down the street, because I thought it was total ego to talk about myself and what I could do. I thought they should just somehow know it. And So I've had many things to overcome, many challenges and limiting beliefs and ideas. I had a huge belief about money, that it was totally not spiritual, not only to talk about money, but to touch it, to think about it, to manage it, to pay attention to it. So I had a long way to go in terms of claiming all of these aspects. And today I would like to help you share with you actually some of the things I've learned along the way that hopefully will help you understand what it even is. What is intuitive clarity? What is it that I'm sharing? Because many of you are actually already doing it and you don't even recognize it. And others of you are somewhere along that continuum. For me, I thought I had to, well, I had no idea how to teach it. Years ago, someone asked me to teach animal communication. I was doing it for many years. I knew how to teach Reiki. I'm a Reiki master, and I knew exactly how to attune people to that higher level of energy healing. And yet, I had no idea how to share the intuition that had been awakened through that process. And so I said no when I was asked to teach for a while. And finally, she said, I have 10 people coming. And I was gifted with beautiful meditation at that time, and it helped me have the courage to begin to teach. And it's become a passion to begin to observe and break down the steps that I'm actually doing, the subtle spaces and techniques that I'm applying, and to be able to share them more easily, so you don't have to go through 25 years hopefully to get where I am, and hopefully even surpass where I am. So let's talk about the keys to clarity. There are 5 that I'm going to speak of, and the very first one is setting clear intention. So many of you are saying, I don't think I am very intuitive. I have so much doubt. I can't tell if it's my mind. Many of these beliefs you have to grab hold of and begin to root out and reset a clear intention. Everything is energy. All our thoughts, all our emotions, all our fears and feelings about things have energy, and they carry a charge, and they will lower your frequency, and they will become cluttering up your mind when you go to begin to connect with an animal or another person in an intuitive way. And so set an intention for yourself. I can give you a few samples. One of my favorites are the simplest. My intuition is increasing in new and wonderful ways. Daily. I like to add time frames on things. Or how about, I accept the full extent of my intuitive gifts. In alignment with the highest good and my soul purpose. Highest good of all, you can say. If you're worried about getting it wrong or saying something that's not truly pure and helpful. How about this one? I trust myself and my awakening inner knowing. I am willing to listen to my intuition. How about that? Many of us are getting these little divine sparks, these inspired thoughts and knowings and feelings, and yet we don't act on them. We don't receive and listen to them. And I'm willing to take aligned actions now. We'll talk about that a little later. So create one for yourself if none of these work for you, but grab one and begin to work with it. I know that it will begin to help you every time you have a limiting thought or a doubt. It's okay. Just reset with your new intention, and it will go a long, long way to developing your intuitive abilities and uncovering what's already happening, perhaps. So, an energy healing tip here. You may have to clear old contracts and agreements, old limiting beliefs and vows that you took or made that have the tendency to hide or block your awareness and your intuition. So I uncovered several of these along the way, and this is something I do for my clients. When we come up against one of them, I help them clear them. And so Very simply right now, you can intend and repeat, I release any contracts or vows or agreements that are limiting my intuitive gifts and that are no longer serving my highest good and soul purpose now. And breathe. This will get you started. It may not be everything you need. It certainly has been a journey for me and for my clients to continue to release many of these veils, these things that we have set in place. Not just that other people or our society or culture puts on, but some of the hardest ones to let go of are ones that at one point or other we thought were helpful. You know, it's not to judge yourself here, but that we felt it wise or life-saving even to hide our gifts, to kind of dumb down our light and our awareness for whatever reason, so that we could please other people and didn't intimidate them, perhaps, or perhaps that we were being attacked. But for whatever reason, we made these agreements, and we have to clear them and reset to a new agreement. So that is clarity key number 1, setting clear intention. And the sub key there is clearing the old intentions that may block you. So let's move on to clarity key number 2. And of course, each one of these keys I can teach for many, many years on. It is an ongoing peeling of the onion, just so you know. There's way more to them than this, but I'm loving that I can now give you a framework or a structure. And before, I had only shared this with my private clients. I just got this download last year of the keys to clarity. I began to see the structure within which I was operating when I was doing my intuitive thing. A lot of people think it's a gift, and I have been able to break it down for many of my students now. It's really exciting. So key number 2, clarity key number 2 is frame a precise question. This sounds perhaps really unspiritual, but it's very practical. Many times we go in, our inner guidance system, is always available, but we may go in with a very complex or convoluted or muddy question, or perhaps not even the correct question. Correct meaning the one we really need to get to in order to have that breakthrough and get that divine wisdom and clarity that we're longing for. And so you need to take baby steps and break down the question. So if you're dealing with a very complex issue, for instance, my client just last week was feeling very muddy, and she's actually quite intuitive, as we have uncovered for her. And yet this question was tripping her up, and she knew she didn't have clarity, and she felt very pressured. And so we broke it down in this way. So for example, her question was, I wonder if I should buy this car. It's very eco-friendly. It is on sale today. I have to decide today, and it's an issue because my spouse is out of town, and I would have to sign the loan agreement alone, and I'm not sure if that's the best thing, especially since we're not even clear if we're going to be together. So you can see how complex this question is getting. There's about 5 parts to this, right? This car, today, this deal, keep looking for another car, do I sign the loan with or without him, what's in my best interest, legally, and by the way, buying major purchases now, is that really ideal? So that's what we had to go through. It wasn't that she couldn't get clarity. It was that she had to chunk down the questions, you see. And ultimately, the question that she didn't ask, that came up as the correct first question that I helped her get to was, should I first find some legal advice about making major purchases at this time as we may be contemplating splitting up? What is the best way? So it's the reason she wasn't getting clarity about this car, this deal today, because there was really an underlying bigger issue that she had to resolve first and get clarity on first, you see. So framing a precise question actually takes a great amount of skill and tenacity and insight and patience sometimes, and a willingness to kind of walk around the issue kind of 360 degrees sometimes, really looking at it from different angles. If you feel muddy, don't just assume you're not clear. You may be asking the wrong questions. So hopefully that can cut an enormous amount of time. It has really been a breakthrough piece for many of my clients, is to ask a different question and not assume you're not getting clarity, but assuming that the way that you're asking or the very focus is off a little bit. And so refocusing can put you right back in that stream of divine inspiration and wisdom coming through. So, clarity key number 3, and this might be where the greatest amount of work is, play, practice, however you want to see it. Raise your vibration, raise your energetic frequency. What does that even mean? I'm hearing that a lot today. What does that mean, raise your frequency? Well, crystal clarity is a natural side effect when you are in a very high energetic state, high consciousness, high energy frequency or vibration. This is the demonstration of all of your thoughts combined with all of your feelings and your awareness, your spiritual consciousness. So that determines your frequency. So this is where many people are getting stuck. They say, I have very clear intentions, I have very clear questions and goals, but I'm not at all co-creating my dream life. I'm very stuck. And this is where they're stuck, because actually, you've heard that saying, you cannot solve a problem from the energy that the problem was created in. You really have to come out of that into the vibration. You need to become a vibrational match for that which you desire. So if you desire this life of peace, you need to start raising your vibration to peace. And if you are in constant chaos and crisis and feeling very down and deflated, and that's not really a vibrational match. So that is also co-creating. And so setting your space with energy tools and techniques, this is the holy grail of what I do. This is where the magic really happens. I have enormous bag full of energy tools and techniques. I never run out, it seems. And we play continually with them. So it's not just, oh, learn that, check, it is continually resetting to these states of clarity, certainty, capable and powerful. And finding that inner alignment. I actually can now see, feel, and know if you are in the central alignment of clarity. There is an exact space, and I know how to guide you there, which we do in my courses, and I will share with you many, many different ways. So the things that help raise your vibration, just to tick them off, some of them you may be doing. Energy empowerment tools and energy management tools, energy healing, Reiki has been a huge impact on growing my intuition. Meditation, all forms of meditation can raise your frequency and bring you more clarity. Sound healing, I love playing with the crystal bowls, as you know. They can very, very quickly bring your vibration up, and just love them. I'll give you a little sample. There are many ways of sound healing. You can use your own voice. The human voice is an incredible healing tool. And there are many ancient traditional sound healing techniques. Chanting is incredible. Chanting mantras that are infused with incredible vibrations. There's essential oils. Some of the highest frequencies on the planet are from the plants. Rose oil has the highest frequency known at this time. And so many, many ways. Going out in nature can be a way to raise your vibration. doing things you love that make you happy, dancing, can raise your vibration. So you see, you need to have tools in place, and you need to practice them daily and sometimes hourly to hold a higher frequency so that you're in alignment with what it is you want. You can't be here and say, I want here, and just say it. You have to start shifting into that frequency that is a vibrational match for all of those wonderful things that you desire. And so, clarity key number 4, I just wanted to say about the third key, that is what I spend most of the time on with my clients, and most of the things that people need help with and support with. So let's go to clarity key number 4. Acknowledge and accept what you do receive. So many times flashes come. We'll get insights or inspiration can come in an image, a word, a phrase, a whole downloaded knowing that wasn't there a moment ago. But we instantly reject it. We just, we have a filter already on that says, no, that's just me. That's just my mind. And so acknowledging, I just think I saw the color yellow. This happened in a meditation early on in my first year meditating with my first spiritual teacher. I was meditating and I had this question about all the spiritual beings. Were they really real? All these deities and gods and goddesses. And I just was very doubting, actually. I'm quite the skeptic. After all, I was a lawyer. I have a very skeptical mind, healthy skepticism, I say. And I was asking if any of this is real, that I was learning about. And so I saw this color yellow, and it flashed a microsecond. But something said, follow the yellow, go back into it, ask about it. Where is the yellow taking me? And this beautiful meditation and experience of a divine being blessing me on that day was all from just not dismissing yellow, because I had no idea what it meant. And yellow in and of itself doesn't mean anything, but I followed it. I grabbed it. I acknowledged and accepted that perhaps if I focus on that yellow, that something else might happen. And so you take baby steps and accept what's happening. And I always tell my clients in my animal communication courses, this is an intuitive gift to connect with animals intuitively. I say, just get your doubt to 51%. You don't have to believe it's true and stake your life on it or ask someone else to stake their life on it. Whatever it is you're receiving, images or words or even feelings. But can you get to 51%? Perhaps what I'm receiving right now is a spark of my inner knowing. Perhaps it could help me or someone else. Perhaps it's real. 51%, can you do that? Everyone in my class says, oh, Kumari, I can do that. 51%. That's workable. And that's a working space to begin with. So baby steps. One thing you receive, you may not get the rest until you acknowledge that you received that one thing. Get curious. Ask questions. And you will be amazed how it unfolds. So many of my students were seeing that I was very fluent in my space when I'm teaching and healing and doing sessions with people and with animals. It seems like I'm just in this stream and it's all connected. But behind the scenes, what I finally was able to teach was how I am constantly asking questions about the feeling I just got. Was that upset? Was that a feeling of abandonment? What was that feeling that I just got? And I am doing it just very, very quickly. So it appears that it's seamless, but the truth is there are many, many steps. Tell me more about that energy that I just felt in my heart. Is that you? Is that what I'm feeling? And I did it with a horse, an Olympic show jumper one day, and it was incredible. I was able to break down for my student who was right there what I was asking, how I was going from one sensation to the next, and how it seemed very seamless. But the truth is there were many, many baby steps. And the acknowledging and accepting what I was receiving from the horse, and then trying to express it, trying to put words on what often is not words, really, really helped break it down. And we had an incredible breakthrough. Key number 5. Again, this is where a lot of people fall down. They think that, or they know they're getting divine inspiration. They're getting a deep and inner knowing, if you want to claim it that way. It doesn't matter what you label it, truly. As we begin to hear the whispers of our soul, we need to take aligned action for the full song, or the full story to unfold. So, if we begin to play with opening our intuition, but we're not willing to step out and respond or act or follow it, it's like a muscle. If we don't use it, it will atrophy. And so, many times you'll get hints about you get an image or a thought, I should really take my keys even though I'm not driving. Something's telling me to take my keys. And then you go, that makes no sense. I'm not driving. I don't need my keys. And later on, you realize you needed your keys. Little things like that happen all the time. And so as you become aware of those little promptings, those little whispers of soul and spirit, you may need, in order to strengthen and develop and awaken your clarity, your intuitive clarity, you may need to take more aligned action with that in order for it to truly blossom. And I tell you, all of your dreams can come true through this power of intuitive energy healing. And if you truly care about people and animals, and you want to make a difference, a huge difference, I might say, in the world, and take the best possible care of yourself and your loved ones, your friends, your family, your clients, and even your animals and the planet. You can do distant healing, intuitive coaching from anywhere in the world. You can literally create your dream life around this blessing, this gift, I don't even want to say gift, this skill. You can set your own hours and become your own boss, all while enjoying this amazing impact, personal and healing for yourself that this energy healing and intuition can give you. So let me ask you now, whether you're a newbie to all of this and you're just starting out on your path, or you're already a healing professional. I work with many, many healing professionals, doctors, veterinarians, holistic healthcare practitioners, coaches, all kinds of therapists, body workers, yoga teachers, and wherever you're at, let me ask you right here, right now, what blocks you from diving deeper into your intuitive healing and manifesting skills so that you can create your version of heaven on earth, your dream life? For the last 25 years, I've been hearing things like, Kumari, I'm so isolated where I am. I just can't talk about it. I have nobody to share what's happening with me, and so I don't feel safe talking about my spiritual and healing gifts and what's going on energetically for me, these shifts. I hear, I need more support, more guidance, more practice. I need more confidence and clarity about my direction. What does it mean for me, to have these gifts? How can I serve in the way I'm supposed to? How can I reach my soul purpose? I hear from my clients forever, I have doubts, I still have doubts, I need to release my doubts, my limiting beliefs. Well, I have to tell you, I still have doubts too. I've just made that decision to continue on, despite what comes up. That is too important to reach all of you. It's too important to share what I have been given. And so I hear, what else? I need more affordable and more access. I can't always travel to workshops. I can't do live events. I am a zillion miles away in Australia, in Europe, in South Africa. So I also hear I need help valuing myself and claiming and communicating my gifts. I'm doing healing work, but I'm not very good at sharing it. I need these things. I need help to reach my ideal clients and to get paid what I am worth, what this is worth, how I know how valuable it is. AKA, I need to quit my day job and I need to make a real living. I need to support my family and I need more freedom so I can truly dive in and focus on my spiritual path and my healing skills and abilities. And so I have to tell you, I've been listening for a long time. And I know that for those of you who are asking to go deeper and get more support, more quickly and more easily and more affordably, your prayers are answered.